Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new to my channel, welcome here to my channel in general. I am fresh off the heels of a Get Ready With Me in 2020 Goals video, so if you are interested and you have not watched that yet, go watch that video and watch me do my makeup and talk about things I want to do this year, including getting certified in something, so go check that out. If you are not familiar with that video, then you do not know why I am borderline whispering. This video is addressing why I am borderline whispering, and the title will probably allude to it. We have new neighbors. And this story starts about 2 weeks ago, and I don't think the story is over yet, so you guys might be getting an update in the future. I did actually try to film this video in ASMR just to be like spiteful, but that hurt my throat, so I had to stop. I did not know how painful ASMR could be when you are not used to it or like trained or whatever, so shout out to people that do ASMR and can whisper without hurting their own throat. So I like to do at-home workouts, and they're things that involve yoga mats. These are not super extreme activities. It's not like I have an elliptical set up in our bedroom or anything. It's really just like ab and arm workouts, and sometimes there's like jumping jacks. There's for sure jumping jacks sometimes. But it's not like I'm doing like burpees with free weights. Like, they're not that extreme. But so 2 weeks ago, I was doing like a little workout, mild, and our intercom system rings. You can actually see it above my head right there. You can call up to our intercom from either outside or any other room, and it happens quite often that people or even delivery men get the wrong room. So even if that box rings, I always ignore it because, first of all, I don't know Korean, so I'm not gonna know what they're gonna say when they start speaking through the box. And second of all, it's really common to like hear that our box go off and then hear like someone down the hall opening the door and like receiving a package or something. So they mess up room numbers all the time. So our call box went off, which meant someone was calling up to the room. So I stopped my little exercise and I just like hung out on the couch because I don't like for people to know that I'm home alone during the day, because I do work from home 3 out of 5 days of the week, and I don't really want people to know that I'm home alone. So I just kind of like was sitting on the couch, chilling out, waiting to hear someone else down the hall open the door, or like for a delivery man to come up, because Andy gets packages delivered all the time, like his mom and his sister sent him things all the time. So if it was a delivery man, I was just going to be sitting on the couch, not making any sound. So probably like a whole minute passes. I'm just on my phone. I'm looking at wedding things on Pinterest. I'm totally distracted. I'm not doing anything anymore. And our call box goes off again. And at that point I get like freaked out because that meant someone was like waiting to see if I responded. And delivery men don't wait to see if you respond. Delivery men, in my experience, always just come by, drop something off, maybe knock once, and then go. So the call box went off again and I was like freaked out. I was staring at it, and then probably like 20 seconds later someone knocks on our door, and it's like quiet, but I'm sitting right on the couch and there's our door, so like I for sure heard this knock and it freaked me out. And then they knock a second time, so this person has now called my box twice, they've knocked on the door twice, and then this is the creepiest part. I hear a male voice, maybe 30s, through the door say, "안녕." Here's the thing, if you guys don't know, there are many ways to say hello in Korean, like there are in English. Hello, hey, what's up, hi. So for the purpose of this argument, I'm just going to talk about 2 ways to say hello. There's 안녕하세요 and there's 안녕. 안녕하세요 is kind of the default when you don't know someone's age or you don't know their status, if they're like below or above you. Korea still has very Confucian ideas. And 안녕 is really reserved for like very strict things. 안녕 is reserved like the equivalent of hi. Close friends, people that are younger than you, pets, animals, children. I texted Andy immediately. I was like, someone buzzed our door twice, knocked twice, and said 안녕 through the door. And he immediately texted back from work. He was like, "You're sure they didn't say 안녕하세요?" And I was like, I heard 안녕, and in here it was so creepy. It was just the way they said hi in Korean. They obviously knew I was home, but it was like they could see me. It felt like they could see me, and it felt like they were talking to a child or a pet, because you don't say 안녕 to a stranger. You don't say 안녕 to someone whose age you don't know, unless it's like obviously they're younger than you, like if you're like 40 and you're talking to a 20-year-old. But even then, like there's a level of respect that's always held. It's just super weird to say 안녕 to someone that you're really not close to. There isn't a lot of violent crime in Korea compared to the US. Like there aren't a lot of like stabbings or shootings compared to where I grew up, but there is a lot of like sexual crime here. So there's a lot of like hidden cameras that like spy on girls. It was actually a day where I had to leave at 2 to go to work. So I was leaving the apartment at 2 and I was like, oh my god, when I open the door, is there gonna be a man that's just been like waiting in the hallway to like creep on me? When I open the door, is there gonna be like a hidden camera that someone set up like spying on me to know when I leave the house? I was so paranoid and upset because it was just so unsettling. So that happened on a Thursday. 3 days later, on Sunday, Andy is sitting on this couch playing video games for like 12 straight hours. Even on weekends, he wakes up at like 7, 8, 9 a.m. So he woke up early in the morning, started playing video games. I was standing behind him at this table editing, because I usually edit videos on Sunday. So I was standing right there, he was right here. Even just talking to each other, we don't need to be loud at all, but the whole day, we hardly even spoke to each other. He was busy doing his thing, I was busy doing my thing. And that's just like how we coexist on Sundays. Andy pauses his game because his phone is ringing, and it's the landlord. And the landlord is saying that the downstairs neighbors below us are complaining that we're making noise. I remind you, we have hardly spoken to each other. I'm standing still on one place on my laptop with my headphones in. He's playing video games quietly. The second thing, the landlord lives on the floor above us, and we know this. He lives there with his family, and for 11 months, he has never once called us to be like, hey, can you please keep it down? And so like, Andy's like, okay, like what can he say, you know? Like the landlord's like, please be quiet, and Andy's like, okay, sure. Like there's no way for us to be any less quiet than we were already being. I don't remember how much time passed, but it was not much at all. It was maybe at most 10 minutes before our buzzer rings. And then even like 30 seconds after our buzzer rings, someone knocks on the door. And it was like, one of them stayed in the apartment to buzz our door, and as the other one left to walk up the steps and knock on our door. Like one was buzzing us while one was knocking us. It was really weird. So I, at this point, like I'd come over to the couch and I was sitting with Andy. So I was on the couch at this point, and Andy goes and opens the door, but he didn't really know who would be there. So he only opened it like this much, like 3 inches, just to see them. So I never saw these people, but it's a couple that lives below us, a man and a woman. And I assume they're around our age, like 20s, 30s. And the man is like nicer, but he's explaining to Andy, in Korean of course, like, please keep it down, we can't sleep. It's 9 p.m. on a Sunday. And then the woman behind him, she sounds enraged. Like she is on the edge. Like the level you get to when it's been like weeks and weeks and weeks of like your neighbors having like loud, passionate sex. Like that's the kind of level she was annoyed she was at. Like we have just been too much for too long, and she starts yelling in the hallway, and I hear like chok 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 chok, and I start to like listen more. And I hear that she's blaming Andy for using a hammer. Like she can't sleep because we're in here hammering and we're making so much noise with our hammer. And Andy's like, we are not making noise. And she's like, I hear you with your hammer. She's yelling at him outside the hallway about using a hammer. Girl, we don't even have a hammer. There's no hammer in here. We have one tool. It's a power drill. And we used that 11 months ago when we moved in to build that table, and it's been sitting over here collecting dust ever since. You have never heard us use any kind of tool. We don't have a hammer. No one was hammering anything. And it's not like this apartment has thick walls. If another neighbor was hammering, we would hear it. So Andy gets them to go away, and he talks to the landlord, and apparently they were frustrated on Thursday that I was making noise because she couldn't sleep. And they were frustrated tonight, or that night, Sunday, because she couldn't sleep. So this girl is so mad at us for making so much noise because she can't sleep. Mind you, I don't know anyone that's sleeping at both 9 on a Sunday and noon on Thursday. Like how many hours of sleep is that? 15? Who is sleeping at 9 p.m. until noon? Because when I was on that yoga mat, it was noon. Maybe she's like a nurse, so she works weird shifts. But I don't know anyone that's asleep at both 9 p.m. and noon. How do you sleep that much? That was like a week ago now. So every once in a while, I get a buzz to the door. And I can't prove that it's them buzzing me to like keep it down, because they didn't come knock, which seems to be their pattern. But yesterday, I heard in the middle of the day, middle of the day, when it's perfectly normal and fine for people to be making noise, because the middle of the day is when most of society is awake and functioning and doing things. Upstairs, it's just kind of sounded like someone fell, like maybe they were on the couch and they slid. Like, it wasn't like someone was crashing down. Like, it was soft and it was small, but someone fell upstairs. I don't know if it was our landlord or his son or his wife, I don't know. But there was a very small thud, and I hardly registered it living the floor below him. I was just like, oh, sounded like someone fell. Continued with my day. Very soft. I could hardly hear it. She immediately buzzes our door. She thought I fell. I could hardly hear it. A floor above me. I cannot believe she heard this guy fall, or his wife, from 2 floors below. And it's like, I feel like I have to walk on eggshells in my own apartment. That's why I'm speaking quietly now, because I've noticed a correlation. Whenever there's like noise in our apartment, she buzzes our door. She hasn't come up to knock yet, but who knows? If she was so mad last Sunday for Andy hammering when he was literally sitting on his butt right here playing video games for 12 hours, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know what their problem is. They're just so super sensitive and delicate to any noise we make. And it feels like if I'm doing dishes and like 2 mugs bang and like, oh, that ceramic sound happens, like, is she gonna buzz the door? Are they gonna come knock? Because when someone knocks on that door, it gives me such anxiety. I don't want anyone to know I'm home alone. But the last thing to happen was yesterday, so it's totally possible that more is gonna happen between now and the time we move. Maybe they're can't sleep. Maybe they can't sleep right now because I've been talking for 20 minutes. Oh, we can't sleep. It's 2 in the afternoon. Can she please be quiet? Some people are trying to sleep. Should I start hammering? Maybe I should start hammering with a hammer that we don't own. Alright guys, that's it. That's it for this story time. My battery light is flashing. It's about to die. So I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. I know this is an abrupt ending, but whatever. Bye bye! I've got the time.